This is my favorite genre of cars. I'm so excited. Hi, I'm Wes.
Hi, I'm Dennis.
And welcome back to Petrol Station, where the game is made up and the points don't matter. Dennis?
Dude, we're going to get copyrighted on that one.
Yeah, I don't give a I do what I want, Dennis. I do what I want. Dude, I'm so excited for this conversation today.
I know you are.
What are we doing today, Dennis?
On this week's episode, Wes and I picked our top 5 Japanese cars, and we are going to go down our list and share that with each other now.
Amen, dude. I'm so excited for this one.
I know you are.
Dude, I love a good JDM
in
car.
a candy store right now.
I really am. Dude, I grew up, I didn't really grow up in the 90s, but I grew up in the early 2000s, right?
You were born in the 90s? I was
born in the 90s.
One of us grew up in the 90s.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I wasn't privy to actually being a teenager in the 90s, which I would have died for, dude. Most of my favorite cars were from the 90s, from the early 2000s. Dude, Fast and Furious was my idol for the longest time. So that's where I'm kicking it off from, and I'm sure you're going to guess exactly where I'm going with first.
I probably am. I bet it's the one I'm thinking about, and I bet I didn't put it on my list.
I bet I didn't think you would because you knew I would pick it.
Okay.
The 1995 Nissan Skyline GT-R.
Ooh, good.
Oh, dude. In either silver with blue stripes, because yes, I'm a Fast and Furious fucking fanboy, don't care. Or like just the mystic purple, dude, with white rims.
I will say the one that was in the original Fast and Furious, which, by the way, hold on, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole for a second.
Here we go.
This bugged me about the original Fast and Furious movie. The fastest car there, in my opinion, was the Skyline. The best car in that movie was the Skyline, other than the 68 Dodge Charger, rest in peace. And it was a side character. It wasn't even a hero car. It was a background prop. And not until we got to the Fast and Furious 2 where they actually realized, like, oh, hey, that actually was the better car.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
I would have much rather have seen that be the hero car over the Supra. And nothing against the Mark IV Supra. It just the Skyline is a better car, in my opinion. I actually liked the yellow from the original movie.
I did like the yellow. I like the yellow. I mean, honestly, any color looks good on that car.
It really does.
You can do no wrong with that car.
I'm going to have to do a quick internet search for like Army Green. See if anyone's ever done that.
Oh, dude, I've seen a matte Army Green GTR. And it looks fucking sick.
Of course it does.
Yeah, it just you can't go wrong with that car. But yeah, all-wheel drive, man. There's nothing I have to say that I don't even need to defend it. It's just on my top list. It'll always be on my top of my list for cool cars from JDM and Japan. Overnight in parts for. There's not much to say about it, man. It's just an overall good car. And then also, I do want to say too, with the GTR, there's also the GTS. There's a bunch of other different trims that they did that gives you an option to get these cars in a reasonable price. Like if you really look at it, a GTR, you're going to be spending $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 to get it imported, or something that's already imported. But you can get a GTS for like 20, 30 grand. That's still clean, still a right wheel drive. It may not be the fastest all wheel drive car because the GTSs were real wheel, but it's still a freaking Skyline. And I love how there's so many options. For
but if you're going to get one, go big, go home.
Yeah, but if you're poor and don't have money,
then you can't afford the first car on my list.
Please start. I can't afford the car on my list. I can't afford what? Well, I don't know. I may be able to afford cars.
I can probably afford one of my cars.
But yeah, to pay cash for one? No, can't do that. Not yet.
Okay, my turn.
Go for it.
From the 90s. In the States, it was known as an Acura. In Japan, it was known as a Honda. One of my favorite cars, the NSX. Mid-engine,
the NSX.
Beautiful car. At the time that it was built, it was deemed as basically the working man or the common man's sports car or supercar.
Yep.
Fantastic looking car, beautiful interior. I mean, the interior is very 90s retro, and I love it. The fact that it was a mid-engine car built by Honda, just an amazing car. And again, it's one of those ones that I've never seen one on the road that I thought was ugly or thought was done wrong. How dare you?
Yeah. Unfortunately, the 2022 Acura NSXs.
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the 1990s.
You said NSX. I called it out.
I'm talking about the 90s.
They ruined it. They ruined it for me. Like, don't get me wrong. I still love the 90s NSX. I love how clean it looks. It's just an overall cool design because nobody was doing a body style like that. But they ruined it by slapping a name on that stupid looking sports car. that doesn't even like look like an NSX. Like it's a cool car, don't get me wrong. But like again, just like the problem I had with the Mach-E, it looks original design. And I hate that.
The new one, they just put a mid-engine car out and reuse the name.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. And yeah, I wish they wouldn't have done that. I would have took any other name. But yeah, I do love a good 90s NSX. Let's see. My next one is, again, from the Fast and Furious, because they can do no wrong. And screw you if you think they can. Yeah, you know what? I don't care. Like, you can give me all the shit you want. They're making 10 movies and they're making an 11th one. And you know what? They're still making money off of them because I'm still going to go see it.
That's okay because they're all quality.
The cars are quality.
The cars are quality.
I mean, that's the only thing I care about is the cars. Again, you may probably guess this one too. The Mazda RX-7.
Good car. Clean car.
Any year, but it does have to have the Val side.
Oh, yeah.
With it.
No,
I will say I do like the RX-7, right? By itself. Body's still good.
I don't.
It's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Without the body kit.
It has to have a body kit. With
the body kit, it looks so good. And it just makes the car look so unique. Like there's no other car out there that looks like that with the body kit on it. And it looks so clean, with it being in Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift with the orange and black stripe. Yeah, that car can do no wrong. And screw y'all for wrecking that car.
That's shameful.
Yeah, it was shameful.
Next on my list, also in my opinion, just as the RX-7, it has to have a body kit on it. It has to have the extra aero. It has to have extra things put on it to really unlock its potential in its looks. The 13 R34 GT-R.
Okay.
So technically not a Skyline, the actual GT-R. I love those cars. I love the performance. I love the all-wheel drive, the twin-turbo V6s. I love it. One of the first things that attracted me about those cars back in the late 2000s, like 2010, 2011s when they first came out, is the fact that the guys who designed and built the game Gran Turismo designed the infotainment system of that car. I mean, that's just awesome.
Cool.
That is
it's
really
nostalgic.
Cool. But it is one of those cars that, like, when it rolls off the showroom floor, yeah, it looks kind of cool. But until you go put the front canards, some wide kit on it,
wide kit,
the big wide kit on a big wing on the back. To me, it just looks kind of bland, even though it's a really cool looking car in its own right. But you add all of those things into it, and it really unlocks the potential of the way that thing looks.
Yeah, unfortunately, I agree. I think the GT-R, the newer GT-Rs, they're very bland in their design. Even the newest one, they came out with a redesign that wasn't really a redesign. They changed the lights.
That was a detriment to that car. They didn't sell any of those things.
And so again, unless like you said, with a big body kit on it, they look okay. But again, you're not buying that car for its looks. You're buying it because it fucking is so fast. It's all-wheel drive, twin turbo V6. It walks, charges and Hellcats and demons.
A lot of things. It walks a lot of things.
Yeah, in a straight line all day long because of all-wheel drive. I digress. But
but definitely only use the launch mode twice. Yeah. You can only use that twice.
You can only send it twice.
Yeah.
Which is, it is what it is.
Yeah. Who needs a warranty?
Get that warranty. But yeah, no, definitely always a fanboy for a good GT-R.
Oh, yeah.
My next one, 2008. Keeping it in the good era. 2008 Subaru STI Hatchback. And I know you hate me for it.
You lost me at that hatch.
You had
me there. You had me up until the hatchback.
That is the perfect idea of a hot hatch. It was.
We're done here.
Nope. I don't want to hear it. All-wheel drive hatchback that looks so clean in silver, blue, red. Don't matter what color you throw on it. White. It looks good. And it has really cool taillights. And it's an STI, which means it goes super fast. I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it.
I can't agree with that one.
You can be negative all you want. I don't care.
You lost me at the hatch. If you said the 4-door, the sedan, I would have been there.
I'm a crazy hatch guy, and I love that is a car I will die on a hill. I don't care what you have to say. If I had the option to get one and I could get one with low miles, I would get one in a heartbeat.
So here's one that'll fire up the comment section. So
there we go.
I don't agree with that one, but I will give an honorable mention. It didn't make my list of my top 5. The 2002 STI
Bug-eyed
Coupe, Bug-eye.
Nope.
I love the Bug-eyes.
Nope.
Especially with because they had like the bigger flat front bumper. You put some rally lights on the front of that thing, even if you're not taking it off-road. it's just a clean looking car.
I'm just disappointed in you and disagreeing with you just to disagree with you.
I know you are.
I do love that car. I love the bug eyes. I do love the rally look. I love it when they extend the wheels out, get wheel spacers, make it look really rally. Yeah, adding all kinds of lights on it. Yeah, it just looks clean.
And you have to have the blue. You have to have the gold rims
with yellow,
and you have to do the yellow Subaru logo on the side. That's the way it looks good.
Yep.
Are you ready for my next one?
I am.
Okay. 1999.
Okay.
Fast and Furious car.
Fast and Furious car.
Yeah,
we're really
Fast and Furious car.
We're really rolling down the list of Fast and Furious cars.
This is my only Fast and Furious car. 1999 Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX.
Yeah, that's a
all-wheel drive, turbo.
Yeah.
And it looks like, if you look at it, it looks like a ladybug, in my opinion. It's just kind of a big bubble. But it still looks so good.
Let me ask you, Dennis, why do you like that car so much? Is it because you had an ex that had one and you drove it around?
No, I genuinely
I do love the Eclipse.
Yeah, I love the GSX Eclipse.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just can't do the chrome.
No. So you're thinking of the next gen Eclipse, the 03 through like 06 that was in Too Fast and Furious, the Spider.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the green and blue one that was in the very opening shot with Paul Walker in the original Fast and Furious.
Which is still a clean car.
I love that car. Yeah, it looks like a ladybug.
Rest in peace to that car. Nice, bro. They really just hoed that car.
They really did. But it's okay because you can spend 10 grand and recreate it really easily.
Why aren't we on that?
I don't have 10 grand.
Yeah, Can we get on that, people, please?
Yeah. So
we just need views. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, Patreon.
We need to set that up.
We should probably start
Patreon. GoFundMe. Go fund our stupid shit and shenanigans.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that place you like?
Shenanigans?
I
swear. Please don't copyright us.
We can't get copyright for saying movie quotes. Unless we actually put the video up. Can't copy. And even then, they don't give a shit. I put that Batman one up. They didn't care.
Oh, yeah. Next on your list?
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
So you went with the Mitsubishi Eclipse. I'm going to go with Mitsubishi as well. Okay. And from Fast and the Furious. And we're just going to keep going down the list. I already know where this is going. This was on my honorable mentions, but I'm going to bring it in because you called Mitsubishi. The Mitsubishi Evo, dude.
Yes. Oh, that is a good looking car.
Anything you do with that car is a good looking car. It's just clean. It looks good. It's fast. It sounds phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Anytime I've ever seen a Mitsubishi Evo, and nowadays they're so rare because people have either dogged them,
blown them sky high,
or
send them down a cliff.
Yeah, send them down a cliff, and you don't see them ever. But when you do, they sound so good. No matter what exhaust you put on it, it sounds amazing.
Another car that looks really good in yellow.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yellow, red, black, white. I've seen them in all kinds of colors, and they look so good. But yeah, I'm bringing that out of my honorable mentions because you brought up the
Subaru,
the bug eye. But yeah, my next car is the 1970s, and it can be any of them because they were all clean.
Oh yeah,
the 1970s Datsun 240Z.
Okay, so on my list I have a 75 Datsun 240Z.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen eventually.
Yeah,
dude. What a clean car
so
for
clean.
The age.
Oh, yeah.
One, I love that style, that old school 60s, 70s style cars. Mustang, Charger, Challenger. You can't go freaking wrong. Trucks, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I love a classic car. And again, Asian market did it exactly the same way. There's so many Asian cars out there. Datsun trucks. I love Datsun truck. But my favorite is a 1975 240Z.
Oh,
it is so clean. In orange, dude. Oh, God, I would blow a load for that one.
No, absolutely beautiful car. I love I always love the look of a long nose car with a short cabin and kind of a hatch feel on it. It's just, to me, that's like the best way to design a sports car. And I love that Datsun, then Nissan, they kept that going, that kind of look going through the Zs, the 400Z. It looks kind of cool. I still wouldn't buy one.
Not for the price.
No. All right.
Fun fact, though, me and Dennis have both owned Zs at one point in time.
At the
classic
same time.
Z, and you owned the 350Z. I owned a 300ZX at the same time. And dude, I love the 300ZX. And that's another car that did it right. And same thing with Datsun. They've always created cool features too. That car talked to me. I had T-tops. It's
I was
just
jealous
cool.
of the T-tops.
Yeah, it's just cool features that not many other cars had. Obviously the Camaro had it. Right. A few other cars, Pontiac Firebird. but it wasn't as common. And they kept it going for a long time.
But here's the difference between your 80s Z that you owned in 2008, 2009 versus
2010.
If you had bought an 85 Camaro and then owned it at the same time with T-tops, you would have been rained on all the time with a Camaro. That Z, those T-tops,
quality, dude.
Yeah, they still held water all the way until the time that you got rid of it.
The only thing that, I will say interior wise and how they were built, yes, 100%. Definitely above and beyond quality when it came to the build quality. I will say though, the mechanics, not so much. I lost really brake lines on that one. That's the one I lost brake lines and slid into the, my brake line corroded. And I slid into the middle of the intersection. Yeah. I missed that car. There's one car, if I could get back again, I would definitely get back the 85 300ZX.
There's another episode of cars we sold and we wish we had.
Dude. And like for the age, didn't have any leaks in it. The T-tops, I took the T-tops. You remember, I used to take the T-tops off all the time. I would roll up to high school with the T-tops on and it'd be 30 degrees outside. I didn't care. I was rolling up with T-tops. No awesome. T-tops. Just take your top off.
Yeah, just take it off.
Amen.
Yeah, show the world.
Such a good car. All those cars are good, except for the 400ZX.
Yeah. My turn?
Yep.
Okay. 1999 Honda Prelude.
You're really living in the 99.
I really. So, funny enough, all of my favorite JDM cars are all 90s and classics, except for the GT-R.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
But
the 90s were hell of a time, man.
They were
I wish I would have grown up a little bit earlier just to be able to experience high school in the 90s. I think that would have been so much fun.
It was a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. But 99 Honda Prelude, just a classic, good looking car. Definitely not the fastest. Definitely not the best performer, but for the money that you paid for it with Honda quality, like it was just a great car. And it was a good looking car. Yeah. A really good looking car.
It reminds me of the 240 SX.
Very much.
That was also really just quality looking two-seater.
Again, long noses, small cab, hatch rear end.
With the flip up lights. Oh, God, you can't go wrong, man. Oh, and then one of my buddies used to have a 240 SX, and it actually had the seatbelts that went up and forward.
The
automatic seatbelts. Just the coolest features, man, that American Muscle and American were not doing.
No.
And some of it was tchotchke stuff, but like it was worth it. Like it was still cool. Like when I got in my 300ZX, I literally had a chime and somebody talking to me, telling me like things in the 80s.
Yeah.
This was the 80s we're talking about.
This is the 80s,
The 80s, man.
It was another time. All right, what's next on your list?
But it's my only car that I chose that was near the current time. The 2018 Lexus. Going a little different here. I know. I know you're not a big fan of Lexus, but this car, every time I see it on the street, every time I see it pass me, and it's very rare because they're rare.
Yep. I think every time you're going with, and
every time I see it, it just, it makes me just grow a little bit in size in my home, not my pants.
Right.
The Lexus LC500.
Yeah, I knew that's where you're going.
It is just.
I'll give you that. That is a
concept car that they came out with a concept and they made it.
Yeah.
And they did it perfectly. And I'm not a big Lexus fan. There are Lexus here and there that I like the LSF, I think, or LCF or something like that, 4-door. But this is the one Lexus I will die on a hill for because it just looks so clean. And driving down, that is a car that will never lose its style. And I don't think they're making them anymore. They may actually be making them still. Anyways, since they came out, in 2018, they still have not lost their style, and it looks so clean.
It is a clean looking car. I'll give you that. I don't know much about them, but
I don't either.
I do recognize them when I see them going down the road.
Yeah, just nostalgic looking at just like a nice looking concept car that you don't typically see from these manufacturers. Yeah, Lexus did it right in that one.
All right, so the last one on my list, and I'm going to make you go back down to memory lane, and I'm having to pull this from my alternatives because you took the 240Z. So yeah, trip down memory lane. See if you actually remember this because I've owned one of these in my lifetime.
Lumina.
No, it's not a Japanese car.
What was the Lumina?
Chevrolet.
It was it?
Oh, yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah, rest in peace to the Lumina.
That thing was a fucking purple piece of shit.
That thing, I paid $2,500 for that car, and it lasted 6 years.
God.
And honestly, until the transmission went out, there was nothing wrong with it.
Damn purple Barney.
Rest in peace.
Yeah,
There
rest
was
in peace.
maroon
Listen,
with a flake.
again, my 300ZX was maroon with a flake, and it still looked purple and brown like shit.
I was like, I thought it was
It was brown. It was brown, but still in that same ballpark.
Okay.
Anyways, get back.
1978 Datsun 620 pickup.
Dude,
And this is one
Datsun pickup.
I picked up for cheap, and I basically ran into the ground. I drove it on the highway and had no. I pushed it way past what it should have been pushed. But I was young and thought any car could be a race car. But yeah, this poor little thing, it was a workhorse. It had like 200 plus 1,000 miles on it when I got it. And yeah, finally I want to say the head cracked on it and caused a milkshake in the engine, and that was all she wrote.
Was that one?
No, it was the blue one.
I remember that one. I remember you had a Mazda, right?
I did have a Mazda pickup for a little while. No, this was back in high school. But yeah, it was just the coolest looking little truck.
Yeah, they're clean. All the Datsun trucks, even the Datsun flatbed.
Oh yeah,
trucks look so cool.
I still would like to get another one of those and mini truck it. And it would just be the perfect little mini truck.
Oh yeah, 100%. I love a good Datsun truck, and I think the name by itself just like
but
it has such a cool style to it.
I learned my lesson. I would definitely trailer it to mini truck shows, not truck,
or just swap the engine.
Or just
it's probably not a bad
small
idea.
block 350.
Yeah, EcoBoost Mustang.
There you go.
Is that it? Is that the list?
That's the end of mine. I think you got one more.
No, I mean we kind of touched on it a little bit. Car, and again, it's an oldie but a goodie, but it also has spanned over 2 different eras. Right, the Toyota Supra.
Good choice.
Clean car, man. From the 90s to the when did they come back out in like the 2018, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
It doesn't matter. They both look in their own right so good. And they're both solid cars. You can do so much with them. The older Toyota Supra has a massive amount of space to do cut mods. You can do whatever you basically want to. I mean, I think I've seen a million different people do different, V8 swaps, those kind of things. But also,
which I don't know. I don't know why you would. Why would you LS swap that car? The 2JZ is such an amazing motor. Just keep it in there. Yeah. That's one where I say do not a swap.
Yeah. I mean, they only swap it just to get that horsepower, I feel like. Because the 2JZ, you're going to have to push it really hard to get. I mean, you can
get good horsepower of the 2JZs. You just got to rev them to the moon. And a lot of people don't. They want that more lower in torque. But the 2JZ wound up sounds so good.
So good. So good, my man.
And I will say that, so the Supra didn't make my list just because like the Mark IV, respectable in its own right. I'm not a huge fan of the way that looks. The Mark V.
It can be done well. That's the thing. The Mark IV can be done well, but if it's not, it looks like crap.
Oh yeah. The Mark V, great looking car. Love that car. But I think they left a lot on the table. First of all, the entire car, it's a BMW with a Toyota shell.
Yeah.
But also, like the 3-liter inline 6, I feel like there could have been a lot more done. And
there was more options.
Put some boost on it.
Yeah, they should have done a lot more to it.
And then, the 2-liter and the 2-liter 4-cylinder version, like why? Why even offer that?
Yeah,
like,
it's a waste.
There shouldn't be a Supra and a Supra GR. Just sell the Supra.
Yeah, and then exactly what you said. I think they left a lot out on the table when it came to performance specifically. It looks like a cool car, and again, in its own right, would I pay the amount of money for that specific car? If I had all the money in the world, sure. Not to buy a car that I actually am going to enjoy, because I get more horsepower out of a different car that looks just as good. And
but I
mean, it only puts out like 350 horsepower.
I think 320. I had it up here. I think it's 320.
I mean, it's a small car, but I'm sure it doesn't weigh very. I'm sure it weighs decent amount of weight because
382.
It's wide.
We were both wrong.
It's a very wide car.
Yeah. So I mean, look, close to 400 horsepower in that car for its weight and its wheelbase. Like, honestly, to me, that's a good solid performer. That's one that I've actually looked at possibly picking up.
You're going to pay for the name. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You're paying for the name, but my problem with it is I've got 2 kids. And I can't have 2-door sports cars anymore. Yep. So in that aspect, like a Mustang, a Challenger, those are way better values if you're looking for something in the 2-door area with high horsepower.
Not to mention the new Mustangs have a drift e-brake now.
Yeah, but see that? They also look like trash. So
they trash, but
one. So does a Focus RS.
Yeah, but
and I would buy that over a new Mustang.
500 horsepower versus 350.
I would still buy the Focus RS over the new Mustang.
Yeah. Looks specifically, yes. I would buy the Ford Focus RS first because the new Mustangs are ugly, but I digest.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any other ones?
No, I think that's the end of both of our lists.
Again, I think JDM in its own right is just on its own level. I think I've always thought that. I've always thought JDM specifically has had its own tier.
Oh, absolutely.
And you look at it like muscle, you look at it like a sports car, hypercar. I put JDM in its own right. Like it's on its own level. Not, JDM is more, brand specific, but I think it deserves its own right and it deserves its own genre. So I will always be a JDM fanboy.
I don't think I could be, I'm not a fanboy. I have a respect and a certain amount of love for JDM cars. I mean, obviously I've owned a couple. Yeah, I mean, I think I still lean a lot more to the American side when it comes to muscle cars and sports cars. But I also, there are some good head turners out there coming from Japan. And yeah, I'm always sucker for a 90s JDM car.
I'm excited for 2025. There's a few that are coming around that we've talked about already. They're coming around. Integra, Prelude.
Not the RSX.
God.
Yeah. Just leave it.
Stop leave it in 2024. You should have just not. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Like and subscribe down below. Turn on the bell notification so you guys see all of our new videos coming out. If you have suggestions in the comments for new videos or anything that you guys may want to see, let us know. Other than that, have a great rest of your day, and we will see you in the next one.